Now we're going to look at an applied problem using our trigonometric ratios. In this case, we're looking at what's known as an angle of depression. It's pretty easy to understand this if you just realize that it's an angle that's pointed downwards. We also have angles of elevation, and that would be, for example, this triangle right here would be an angle of elevation because you're looking up. But in this case, since they're looking down, it's a depression angle, and we want to know how far we would ski down the mountain. So we need to look at SOHCAHTOA, and we need to decide which one we're going to be dealing with. In this case, if you look, 21 degrees is opposite this 1200 feet, and it's also the hypotenuse right here. So we want something with opposite and hypotenuse. In this case, that would be sine for opposite and hypotenuse. Therefore, to do this problem, we would say sine of the angle, which is 21 degrees, is equal to the opposite, which is 1200, over the hypotenuse, which is x. So we multiply both sides by x. We want to get x by itself. So first we have to get it out from underneath that fraction. This gives us x times sine 21 degrees, and that's equal to 1200. We're going to divide both sides by sine 21. And at this point, this is where we get out our calculators. So, and we're going to round it probably, let's do it to 1/10. So 1 decimal place. So if we do this with my calculator, I have 1200 divided by sine 21 degrees. And I got 3,348.5 feet. They may make you round to the nearest whole number, but that's good. So in this problem, again, we write sine is opposite over hypotenuse. We substitute in our values, multiply both sides by x, divide by sine 21, and they go that extra step, but you don't really need to do that. So 3,348.2. I got 0.5. I think it's because they use the rounded number. So don't use the rounded number and you'll get a more accurate answer. Just use the number that's on your calculator. Okay? So about 3,348 meters. So here's another problem. Same problem, but let's say this was 28 instead. Well, let's see how that changes things. Pretty much everything's going to be the same except this is sine 28 now. You think it's going to be longer or shorter? Think about it, and we'll find out. Multiply both sides by x once again. Those cancel out. We get x sine 28 degrees equals 1200. We're going to divide both sides by sine 28. Those cancel, and here's where we get out our calculator. So we have 1200 divided by sine 28. What do you think? Longer or shorter? Ends up being 2,556.1 meters. So in the last problem, we ended up with 3,348.5. Now we only ended up with 2,556. So the steeper it is, the shorter that distance is going to be. Okay? And that's it for this one. Thanks.